she's pissed off because she doesn't like the way that maybe men treat her or the way something ended. She doesn't like it. She doesn't like the energy of something. I think she's pulling on this devil's energy is what she's pulling on. And she doesn't like that devil energy. She knows it's there. And she might even talk about it too. Talk about it out in the open. Like, she announces the devil is there. She senses the devil. She announces the devil's presence. I feel like this is a really big struggle for her too, because I think with the High Priestess and the Six of Wands in reverse, this is somebody who would be almost embarrassed or scared to say something because of the backlash that it might cause or the attention it might cause her. She's like, if everybody here is celebrating the devil and then I call the devil out for being the devil, am I going to be shamed at or looked down upon? Or am I going to have to get... or is this devil going to turn around and challenge me and now I'm fighting the devil? You know, if the devil's in the room with me and I challenge that behavior, what's gonna happen to me? All right, let's go just a little bit more. Nine of Pentacles in reverse. And I also feel like the High Priestess doesn't feel like this is her position in life, but it is her position in life. And that's why I feel like the Knight of Pentacles is in reverse. It's because she doesn't want to have to do this. And just the inner strength coming out. Lots of inner strength. She's like, this isn't my position in life, and this could get me harmed. You know, this could physically get me harmed if I'm out in public and I have to announce the devil is here, and the devil turns around and like wants to come for my flesh. Is kind of what I feel like. Then I'm not being protected, you know. And then we have Strength in reverse and Nine of Wands. Like, I don't know. I need to be protected. Somebody else has to agree with me that, you know, men shouldn't be talking about women like this. Because I tell you what, if you're just joining me, I did a scenario earlier, and I'm like, I've never been in a room when women talk about men in these kind of positions. It's like, we don't put men in these like overly sexual positions, or I don't. I've never heard a woman, you know, just talk really, I don't even know what you would call it. Misandrous towards men, like really misandrous. To have the death here. I also feel like she is right, or she's on point, or she's able to call out. It's almost like she can see that bad behavior coming from like a mile away. Or she sees it, she can sense it so easily. Now we have the King of Cups in reverse. All right, I'm gonna call it King of Pentacles. I think this is part of the problem, is whoever this King of Cups is the problem. Because I feel like he tries to lead with charm and it ends up going nowhere. The Four of Swords here. It's like there would be apology here, but it's meaningless. I feel like if this King of Cups was to come and say something to us, it wouldn't matter, because I feel like that devil energy is whoever's in this king. I feel like whatever he would deliver would be false hope. Whatever this king has to say is just for show, just for the words, just for the pageantry, just to like calm everybody down. No, it's not a big deal. You know, you're making a big deal out of nothing. Even though I think not. I think not. Yeah, I definitely feel like this would be somebody who would manipulate you into changing your mind. Like, I'm actually a good guy. I'm not this person, but deep down they are this person. I mean, if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. You know, if it talks like the devil, looks like the devil, goes around, it's probably the devil. The devil's speaking through that person. And then the devil's like, I'm not the devil. So just be careful of that. This person with the King of Pentacles would be the type that maybe would buy you a drink, would like touch you inappropriately and then ask to buy a drink just to calm you down. That's what I feel like too. All right, I'm gonna go and call this. To me, that is kind of along the lines of like sex work. I had this guy one time come up and he snapped my bra at the bar. I was waiting in line to order a drink. He comes behind me, snaps my bra, and I'm like, what the fuck? And this guy is huge. And I have a guy friend right behind me, and he saw this happen, and then this guy was like, I got upset, and the guy's like, well, let me buy you a drink. And I'm like, no, you can't fucking touch me like that. That is assault, what you just did, technically. I don't care if you're trying to get my attention. I don't want it. And now I'm scared. And then my friend's just like, you should just let him buy you a drink. I'm like, no, that makes me a prostitute. I mean, this was like 10 years ago I said this. Sorry if that, I know I'm supposed to say like sex worker. Let's fix me a sex worker. But like, you can't come up and touch me and then like apologize by buying me a drink. It's not gonna work. I'm not that type of person. Mm-mm. And I told my guy friend, I was like, what if that guy, because my guy friend is like small, he's a small guy like me, or he's like more my size than this other guy's size. And I was like, well, what if that man came up to you and grabbed you by the belt loop and was like, hey, oh, sorry, let me buy you a drink. You'd fucking flip out, wouldn't you? You would feel very unsafe. All right, anyway, it's like the bear versus the man in the woods, and men are like, oh, that's not fair. And it's just like, okay, what about a man? What if would you rather be in the woods with the bear, or be in a prison shower? So men, would you rather trust a bear in the woods or men in a prison shower? That is the equivalent. That is what we're fucking saying. I know this isn't on his For You page. It's on every other woman's For You page. All right, I'm going to go and call this book a private reading with me. I have a $20 reading available. It is a video reading. It is short and sweet. I think it is a great deal. If you want to go to my website, and if those are still available, go and purchase one of those, and I'll get a reading out to you within the next couple of days. All right, this is Nikki Knows.